The title is Man Who Jumped to His Death at Disneyland Was Principal of Accused Child Endangerment. So this guy, Christopher Christensen, who was a principal for Huntington Beach Elementary School, or looks like several schools, for 22 years, was due for a pre-trial conference hearing on Monday for the 2 misdemeanor charges, which he directly blamed for suicide in a lengthy Facebook post. I'll read that in a minute. Just before he leaped from the Mickey and Friends parking garage. Imagine going all the way to Disneyland to make this display for people to see. Very, I'm not even going to go there. You know what I'm starting to think about. I'm not going to read the parts of the post. I'll get to that. This is a gentleman over here who was a principal, also apparently a talented musician. But he, guys, look, the whole red flag thing, and I'm going to drop this again. The whole red flag thing, the ticker's below. Don't watch my podcast. Don't buy the book. I don't give a shit. At least read this chapter on red flags so you understand the kind of women that you don't want to invite into your life that can potentially cause havoc, especially if you're a plugged in dude and you're not ready to see all the truth that unplugging offers you. One of the big problems that he dealt with was he invited a single mommy into his life. There's a few other red flags too as we kind of get into the photographs, which I'll talk about as well. But these are all excerpts from the post. This is a long post over here, which I'll read in a minute. This is him and his wife. They had a private marriage. It wasn't public, apparently. And that's more excerpts from the post. This is him. Now, bright purple, like brightly colored hair color like this, sign of feminism. Typically, conventionally feminine women don't dye their hair weird colors like this. This is another red flag, okay? Red flag number 2 is feminist. Red flag number, I'm looking at my list over here. So many damn, there's 20 of them. Number 12, single mommies. I'm sure there's more as we kind of, dive down and investigate this. That's the building that apparently where it happened at. And I don't know what's going on over here. This is just Disneyland stuff. Anyway, so let me go over to his Facebook post and I'll just kind of read it to you because rather than doing what most guys would do, which would just be like, do it and be done with it, he wrote onto Facebook on a public post to tell the world. I'm actually surprised it's still up at this point. I mean, it's a public post, but, to go and tell the world that this is why he was doing what he was doing. So his post reads, actually, let me just switch over to this side. It's probably easier. He goes on to say, I hate when people leave this earth with so many unanswered questions. So I hope this provides some insight and perspective. This is my wife, Marlena. Yes, you heard me correctly. Most of you don't know this, but we privately married 3.5 years ago. Now, her last name is not Christensen on Facebook. It's something else. I'm not going to tell you what it is because there's weirdos out there and she doesn't need to be harassed as a result of this. But I found her Facebook profile and any public photograph she has is just her and her 2 little girls. No pictures with him. Now, I've often said to you guys in the past in other videos or podcasts, one of the dead giveaways of a beta male is their Facebook profile picture. Any social media picture is him and his chick together. And then you click through onto hers and there's no mention or no obvious signs that she's in a relationship with a guy at all. He's making it very clear that she's an important piece or fixture in his life, but on her social media, she has made no indication from what I can see anyway, that he's an important fixture in her life. It was just her or her and her 2 little kids. So anyway, he goes on and says, she and I love and adore each other and our relationship has been amazing up until recently. Unfortunately, 2 weeks ago, she and I got into a heated argument at home in front of the girls. Tempers were flared and strong words were exchanged between us. However, never in this exchange did I hit, slap, or hurt Marlena or in any manner. Nor did I ever touch the girls. I have never and I never will. I love the girls like my own. So these are not his girls. He's, I don't know, adopted them or whatever, but she's a single mom. She showed up in his life with 2 kids from a prior relationship. Looking at her Facebook, kind of when you scroll back through the timeline, it looks like there's family photos of her and the girl's father around 2014-15. So shortly after that, I guess, whatever, she left him or something happened. And then she connected with this new beta provider. Anyway, I love the girls like my own, and they know that, as does anyone else who truly knows me. Unfortunately, Marlena's anger got the best of her that night, and she called the police, which landed me in jail that night. They don't ask questions. The cops don't ask questions. They just remove the threat from the house, even if it's a weak-looking beta male. They'll just remove them from the house, usually for the evening, lock them up, and then there's some sort of charges or bail or something sort of tied. It depends on where you live in the state or province, but they don't need proof. They don't need to show the police when they arrive at the house bruises, scars, cuts, video footage, nothing. All she has to do is say, he bad man, he threatened, and then they take him away in handcuffs out of your house. It's guilty first, and then let's prove the innocence later. That's how law works in a female first primary social order. Talk about this a little bit in chapter 1 of my book of the Unplugged Alpha. So shouldn't be new to you guys if you've been following me for a while. Anyway, so dude spends the night in jail. Yes, me, a man who has never hit or harmed anyone in his life. I think it's safe to say that Marlena truly regrets making that call because the events of that night have completely unraveled both of our lives. I'm on the brink of losing my job. Now, he's a school principal. If you're charged with misdemeanors or being a threat to the lives of children, you obviously can't remain a principal anymore. So not only did he spend the night in jail, but he was probably either suspended or there was some consequence to her making this call on him and him landing in jail. I don't know if he lost a job or was suspended, but this is where he's at. Regrets the call because the events that night have completely unraveled both of our lives. When truthfully, he's talking about his life, not really hers. I'm sure there was no consequences to her life. Otherwise, she would have been doing the same thing that he did. I am on the brink of losing my job and I am out on administrative leave. Okay, so there you go. So they suspended him until my case is resolved, which in some cases could be months or even beyond that, maybe even a year or more. However, the legal system is extremely flawed, especially against men fathers. Well, why did you invite a single mommy into your house, right? Like you can avoid a lot of these problems by not making silly choices that expose you to unnecessary risk. Anyway, he goes on and says, it's sickening how quickly and easily an innocent man can be thrown in jail because of zero evidence or proof. All right, well, what have I been saying for years, guys? In fact, take a look at the attached screenshots of Marlena's message to my friend about this matter. She too had no intention of leaving. She had no intention on having that night come this far. She knows I would never hurt her or the girls, and she too has been trying to clear my name with little success. Again, the legal system is deep, so he's blaming the legal system. It's all the legal system's fault. So here I am, writing my final Facebook post to all of you. I bet nobody 20 years ago thought to themselves, oh, one day people will write a final Facebook post before they take permanent steps to a temporary problem in their life. Like this is where we are today, right? You know, to broadcast this stuff. Anyway, I need you all to know that a gentle, kind, loving, and sincerely good man has been destroyed by one unfortunate night. It really is unfortunate. This is not me. This is not something that I ever thought would happen to me. With all of this said, I have truly loved educating and leading thousands of students and families as a principal in FV, SD, whatever that is, for the past 21 plus years. I've made so many wonderful connections with families over the years, and those who know me closely know how much I cared for my students, staff, and families. Please remember me for all the good I brought in the world of education. To all my musician friends, thank you. Thank you for performing with me over the last 30 years. We've had a blast performing over and creating such fond memories. Over this, you know, your life stops at full stop here over some chick and a false DV charge. Anyway, the day job, I'm sad to say last night was my final performance. Oh boy. However, it went very well and I'm proud of my final performance. It was a success. I have always loved performing, especially during the holiday season. I'm going to miss it dearly. There's so much more I want to say that I'm going to spend the rest of today reaching out to those closest to me and let them know how much I love them. This is not an ideal way to go out, but at least I get a chance to say some final words to those who I love and adore. Take care, everyone. Please, please, please be kind to one another. Treat each other with kindness and grace. There is too much anger in the world, and people need to start treating each other better. What I've shared with you is a prime example of how anger can really have a long-lasting, extremely damaging effect on a person's life. And you put some photographs here of him and his wife, chick thing. This is a public post, so there's loads of comments here from randoms just sort of chiming in on the matter. But look, guys, this is why you need to end the beta. Okay, this is why you need to unplug from society's comforting lies. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.